Orange dials on watches go together like an Englishman and tea. Yes, it may have been Doxa with the sub who first used the concept in watches, but since then there have been many brands to coat the super legible colour on the dial of dive watches. For their latest vintage slanted diver, Certina have borrowed this idea and applied it to a modern interpretation of the DS PH1000M. If you're not a fan of orange, then fear not, there's a non-limited black version, but for the purpose of this review, we're going to be looking at the limited edition orange dial version I have here. There will only be 1,000 made. And as well as only 1,000 produced, 1,000 is the number of meters the watch is depth rated to, the same as the 70s version. The original DS PH1000M was actually used in the fear-inducing Tektite II program, a NASA-funded experiment taking place in an underwater lab where subjects lived for periods of 10 to 20 days at a time while their behaviours were monitored. It's safe to say the watches used were also put through their paces and happened to thrive. Though the most aquatic activity I've put this watch through is a rainy London commute, it's passed with flying colours. On the wrist, the 42 by 14.5mm stainless steel barrel shaped case wears nicely, and it's a joy to look down and inject a bit of colour into a grey day. It's worth noting that the modern watch is substantially smaller than the original, especially height-wise, measuring at 3.5mm thinner. Another point of difference is the new helium escape valve, which is tucked away on the side of the case at 9 o'clock. Yes, it's very unlikely anyone will ever use this, but it's nice to know it's there, especially if you fancy a spot of saturation diving. The volcano-style unidirectional bezel is also faithful to the original, and it's super cool to play with due to the fact that it's sprung. The dial is also pretty faithful to the original, with the chunky white loomed indexes and hour hand set against the vibrant orange backdrop, and you also have this signature orange minute hand in a slightly different shade of orange. The frame date window is also particularly pleasing to look at. One criticism I can hear people already complaining about in the comments is the limited edition text on the dial, and that's something I would probably agree with. Finish-wise, I really like the look of the case. The brushing on the top side has an almost matte grey effect, which works really well with the polished elements. It looks really understated. On the case back you have the Certina turtle, which is a nod to their robustness in water. You also have the limited edition number, the depth rating, and other specifications on the case back as well. Inside you have the trending Powermatic 80 movement, complete with its 80-hour power reserve, anti-magnetic properties, and 3Hz frequency. Honestly, I've talked so much about this movement recently, hopefully most watch lovers will know what it is by now. The DS PH1000M comes on either a black rubber strap, which is the version I've been wearing it on, or a textile strap made of recycled ocean material. I can personally vouch for the comforts of the rubber strap, however it's actually a little bit long for my wrist, which is a little bit frustrating and a little bit untidy. Another point of contention is the fact that the orange, or the best version in my opinion, is limited, which will undoubtedly upset some people. That being said, at £945 for the orange or £845 for the black, the DS PH1000M is excellent value, and Certina continue to impress with their pivot to vintage focused dive watches. I, for one, am a big fan. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for more watch news, releases, and reviews.